Welcome everyone, this is Zanta with Repro Products. Today's video is on how to work with Revit and create any schedule that has a black background and has white text instead of the other way around. And also possibly changing the color of the line work as well. This idea came about via the forums .autodesk.com. We had an end user request to create a schedule of this nature, very similar to what he would see in AutoCAD. And so I created this schedule here called Sheet List, and it has a black background, it has white text, and it has cyan line work. Let's figure out how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from a different Revit file. Clean. That way you can kind of see the process from the very beginning. You can do this with any schedule. So here I have a Revit file that I created, and it's just a door schedule, okay? And I want to go ahead and change the content so the background is going to be black. Now, when you place your mouse inside a cell, inside a schedule, in Revit, certain cells that you click inside, you have the ability to use shading, which you can see right here. And I'll click shading and I'll change it to black. And then immediately you'll see the black text is covered up. That's okay. You can either still have your cursor inside the box and go over to the font and change its color here, or you can create a font style specifically for schedules that has a white color for all of the font. And we're going to do that instead because it's a little faster and a little easier. I head over to the Annotate tab of the ribbon, head over to the text panel, click the text type command. It'll open up, and I have just a few that they give us. Here's a 1/4 inch Arial. I'll duplicate this and we'll call it 1/4 inch Arial white. And then I'll change the color. Now don't change it to white. And the reason I say don't make it completely white is because you won't see it on the piece of paper. It won't print. So what you'll do is you'll head over down here to the RGB color system and change the last digit to 254. This will be like an off-white color and it'll work just fine. You'll go ahead and do the same process for the other font styles that you want to work with. Say, for example, they have 1/8 inch Arial. We'll duplicate that, call it 1/8 inch Arial white. And then since we already have the height, we just need to change the color. And then lastly, they have the schedule default text that they use when you're creating schedules. We can duplicate that as well, and we'll call it schedule white text. And again, change that color. Now that we've done this, we can go into the Appearance tab of the ribbon. And here where it has the grid lines and it has the text, go in here under Text Title and switch it to the 1/4 inch Arial white. And this one to the 1/8 inch Arial white. And this one to the schedule white. And they'll all be white. So now all the cells that are white looks like they don't have any text in there because those cells are not black. Again, we can head over to certain cells and we may be able to adjust the color. And if we head over to the contextual tab of the ribbon, as you place your cursor inside a cell, if it gives you the shading capability, then that means titles and headers, you can do that. So maybe I'll go ahead and just highlight all of these cells and then go to shading and make it black. And now I can start to see the white text, okay, on a black background. But what about the cells that are here for the data? These don't give us the ability to do shading. In order for us to fix this system down here to make it look black, we need to work with our formatting. And we need to go to each one and work with conditional formatting. So for the first one, for level, we'll head over to conditional formatting. And we want it to specify it to be not equal to some weird, bizarre value that none of these cells would have. For example, a group of 9s. And then we would make that background black. Now that we've done that, we go to the second column, and again, do the same approach. Not equal to, a whole bunch of 9s, or any other value that you want that you know is not going to be inside the cells that's being extracted from um, the families. So let me go through and run this. Not equal to. And then for the sake of speed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and finish populating the rest of these with the filter, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and went over to formatting and make sure all of the columns have the conditional formatting set to be equal to some bizarre value with a background color equaling black. Now that I've done this, you can see that the schedule looks black and the text is white. And then obviously, whatever we decide to input here for the columns and headers and things like that. For example, this is going to be marked. If we head over to our sheet where it says schedules, we can see the door schedule that says level 1 and it's black with white text. Now you can select it and you can still push and pull the arrows to adjust the width of the columns. The only negative aspect of doing this is that when you select the schedule on the sheet, everything is highlighted and it's hard to read and see until you left click and hold the arrow, and then you can kind of get a ghost impression of the text and the data that's inside the cell, so you can really adjust the width properly for the schedules. As for the line work, if we head over back to the schedule and we head over to appearance, you can see under appearance there is guidelines and outlines, and we can specify any kind of line type that we want. We already have a few that came with the software. Most people will pick thin lines and wide lines, but you can actually make your own. So if we head over to the Manage tab of the ribbon, head over to Additional Settings, and then head over to Line Styles, you'll get a window that opens up called Lines, and you can expand this, and you can see all the different line styles that are being used in the software. And if you look carefully, you'll see those thin and the wide. You can make your own. So we'll just go ahead and go to the top level, have lines highlighted, click New for a subcategory, and we'll call it Schedule Line Work, something like that. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and input whatever value we want for the weight of it, and then any color if we want to as well. So from the end user's request under forums, his original image showed that the schedule was a cyan color. So I'll go in here and I'll just pick cyan. But you can make it any color you want. Now that that's done, head back to the Appearance tab and go over under Grid Lines. You can keep, say, for example, thin lines here, or just switch it to the schedule line. You can also create several line types within that Manage tab for the schedule. So it doesn't have to be a single line style. You can have as many line styles as you want. Once you've done that, you can head over to the sheet and you can see that the schedule shows up, and now the color of the line work is cyan. So this is how you go ahead and use Revit to create a schedule that is a black background with white text and colored line work if necessary for your schedule to show up on a sheet within Revit. This is for those who like to have that black look on a schedule. Thank you very much for watching.